You're stuck sourcing on hard mode. I know because you clicked this video. You're probably clicking a bunch of different products and they're all gated. I have a way for you today to source efficiently and find a bunch of ungated different products. And then we're also going to analyze Keepa charts so you understand what you're seeing. So let's get right into the video. Like everybody's going after ungating and stuff. Why not just consistently spend time sourcing seller IDs? And how do we source seller IDs? And again, I know I've talked about it, but I'll do a little revision there. It was like the F-bomb, and it has nothing to do with the product and everything to do with how many sellers there were on it. You see here, there's like 33 sellers in the past, but like we go into data. Yeah, if we go into offers, we want to just go configure columns, hide everything. All I want to see is the ID, the name, and the review count. Like that's all we care about because that's what we're tracking in our sheet. Oh yeah, we want to have historical offers and prime on all the time. So we can do export. I do CSV because I use Google Sheets. If you have Microsoft, you can definitely do Excel. You do CSV and all active columns. You can also just like copy the ID and put it here, copy the store name, put it here, copy the review count. I would ideally not take any of the zeros. I would look at everything from 1 to, let's say, under 10. There's asterisks here. A lot of these stores are going to be shit. I'm going to be honest with you. So when you have a ton over here and you start reviewing them, you see like the will source. So you can start doing like no link, yes, whatever, right? Using the Keepa product finder, which we'll do in this call, you're going to be able to just go and get 20 of these at a time. And we're going to be able to date like, hey, last sourced it on the 20th of November, which would be today. So you can customize this a lot. And once you have this built out, we just need to go ahead and source them. I'll pull up like 20 seller IDs and we're going to go and just like keep a product finder. And again, the goal is not necessarily to find profitable products. I have a ton of videos on that. I'm going to more so take my time and analyze Keepa charts because I don't think a lot of people go super in depth in that, certainly when it comes to Canada. And we're going to see what we find. Oh, I already have a filter here from the web box. I think I already put, did I already put the seller IDs in here? Yeah, I did. Put minimum buy box 25. I don't even have what I talked about in other videos with drop percentages. So that's just pulling up like 245 products. And if I do find products, it's like a mini gold mine. There's different ways of filtering here. Again, there's 245 products. You can go in and look at them one by one, but I like to filter in the bot in the past 30 days. And then you can also look at the bot in the past, drops in the past 90 days. And we can just like start here and we have a plethora of products. The goal of looking at the seller IDs that have low seller reviews is because they're in a similar situation as you guys and they should be newer sellers. Most of these products should be available to you. And if they're not available to you, they will be available to you eventually soon, right? Because I promise you, these guys are not all ungating these products. They're just naturally ungated products. And TopFin is a product that I was ungated really early on. I don't know if you guys are ungated in TopFin. TopFin is a brand is that it's up and down. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, to be honest. Like the listings really go up and down. It is important to look at Keepa graphs in context of what cost price you're going to get, right? Because it could be the ugliest Keepa graph in the world, but if you're getting it at a disgustingly low price, it's still worth it, right? So we're going to play in the context of what it is actually. And what it looks to be is $19.99, which would not be profitable, but we'll go in and look really quick. So automatically we see we can save 25%. We'll do like auto ship and we'll put it out to like 3 months. And when it gets shipped to me, like my VA will cancel the auto ship. So we're just going to save 25% off right away. And we can see here, there's like coupons here, buy one, get the second 30% off, save 15% off on 60%. So there's a ton of things. We're going to just assume 25% off. Okay, so we'll go $19.99. If you guys didn't know, you can just put like the star for times, and we're going to put 25% off. It's $14.99. Scroll down and we look at Keepa. There is, I like to automatically scroll back to a year. I don't know if you guys look at it in a monthly graph, 3 months or 1 year. I default at 3 months, but I look at all of them. I don't really look at the weekly and the daily as much because that's not really going to be very informational. And I'm automatically going to go back to a year. I want to see like kind of what was it looking like almost exactly around this time last year. So we were at like 29.85. I'm also looking at the bottom part here, which is the seller count. What is the relationship between the seller count and the buy box line? And again, like the price was relatively stable between that 30-ish, 32 It went all the way up to 33.99, 34. But then what do we see down here? Okay, Keepa graphs don't lie. They tell a story. It's the easiest thing in the world. Like once you get used to it, of course. Seller count starts going up. So why does it go up? In January, there is a sale that goes on, or maybe people were buying this during December and it was getting stuck in fulfillment and it only checked in the end of January, right? For whatever reason, seller count increased a lot. And when seller count increased a lot, what happened to the buy box, right? You can zoom in here. Well, it starts going down, but drastically. Because what happens, right? When you go from $33.99, right? And assuming we're always getting this for $14.99, right? We're going and we're getting 40% ROI. We're selling this 50 times a month on the listing. We're two people at this point, and then boom, all of a sudden we're 8. You think there's 8 FBA sellers compared to 2, there's going to be the same opportunity? Probably not, because people are selfish. People want sales. So people are going to tank the buy box. People are going to stop slowly trickling down because they want their share, but that doesn't do anything. When you tank the buy box, it's only, you're going to get the buy box for like a few minutes. Everybody is running repricers. The guy who's dominating the buy box is just going to match your price and he's going to have the buy box again. So what happens is the price goes from $33.99 and it goes all the way down to $29.99. So we start and we lose 20% ROI. Like almost everything's gone. And what happens? There's even more sellers that come in. So now we peak at like 15. So we start going and we're down to $26. And what happens now? We're now not profitable, right? So if we bought here last year in January at $33.99, and then we held on, we hodled, right? We're like, no, it's February 20th, right? No, like we're good. Because again, we're buying it. And when we bought it, the product looked like this, right? The Keepa chart looked like this. So we're like, hey man, product's pretty good. Like, yeah, okay, maybe it goes down to like $30, but at $30, I'm still making $2.67. Worst case, it's $33.99. But look at like it was like growing. So it's like now you actually look at it and it's just going all the way down, and you held on and you never wanted to liquidate your products. And now it's peaking at like 14, 15 sellers and we're down to $25.99. So you see how like a Keepa graph tells a story? I just literally made a story for you guys looking at numbers. So again, how does this help us make buying decisions? A yearly graph is, you don't need to necessarily look at that for buying decisions, but in the past 3 months, we can be like, okay, the lowest price has been 28 days. The last lowest price under that $28 mark was back in May. So that was a long time ago. So it looks like the product has been pretty stable. Right now, $28.74. If you're getting it for $14.99, unfortunately, it's not the best. You would have to bet that this seller count keeps going down. So 15, 14, 13, 12. It is going down. The reality is that volume is increasing right now because we're in Q4. I've seen it for myself with my store. Sales are starting to kick in a little bit more. So seller count is dropping. But if you buy this right now, you might not have time to check this in before Christmas. By the time it comes to your house, by the time you get everything prepped, you ship it, it checks into Amazon, you might be a little late. So what will you end up with? Maybe you might end up a situation like last year, November 29th, we're at these $30-ish, and then the leftover inventory, it just drops down. So you want to avoid it. So if you're getting this product at $14.99, I would say avoid this product right now. Even though it kind of doesn't look that bad in the past 3 months, you're saying, hey, my floor is still profitable. And if it goes to like $32, $33, I'm going to be actually making 35% ROI. So I feel like this was a pretty good first product to look at the Keepa chart. And the story does change. Like I said, though, if you are able to get it for $11.99 like it was at the beginning, now things change a bit because you go, hey, even at the worst case, like yearly in the past year at its lowest point, it was $25.99. I'm still profitable. Okay, this is a smash buy then. So pricing plays also a huge part. And then how many you're going to buy? Well, we'll go and look at this Keepa graph too. When you want to buy products, you want to reconfigure these columns, just do reset. And I like looking at this view, right? Let me actually take a step back and do a little bit slower here. So I go into data, right? And you're going to automatically be in the product details. And I go into offers like we did before. But now I kind of look at a little bit different. I filter prime. And I scroll a little bit to the right and I look at the stock history. And you see the stock history here, how it does like a little bit of a staircase. We start at 31 here on October 31st, and then we're at 29 on November 2nd, and then we're at 27, we're at 26, 24. Well, we're kind of seeing live counts of their stock level. And we can use this information to somewhat accurately say that it's selling, hey, listen, from October 31st to November 15th, so in 2 weeks, sold at least 7 units. And oh, look at here, more downward staircase, e-merchant stop. So we're going to go back to the October 31st. They had 19th, and November 15th, they end up with like 11. So that's like another 7. We know now there's like actual sales volume happening here in 2 weeks. You can literally see how much is selling, how quick here. So this kind of gives you an idea how much you can probably order and like probably get as many sales. That's how I look at how much I order. I like